Good morning, guys. Happy blessed Monday. Welcome to Poetry Corner. Now we're going back to Charlotte and Edward's love story, chapter 11. The day I met him, we gave him a day off yesterday. We remember last time Charlotte was called to Mr. Everly's Edward's stately home. He has some bad news to drop on her that he'd been to London and his father's estate was in debt, and he had to marry into money. So Charlotte was politely rejected an offer of marriage. So we'll carry on and see what Charlotte is up to now. This is chapter 11, the letter unsent. The rain did not cease for several days after my visit to the Everley estate. It came and went in gentle drifts, sometimes falling like mist, sometimes in a sudden silver thread that traced the winds and blurred the world beyond them. I found myself listening to it as almost constantly. The rain became both companion and confidant, a presence that asked for nothing and yet seemed to understand. As I tried as best I could to occupy myself with small duties, Mother required more help with her correspondence, the garden demanded attention between showers, and Mrs. Holden had fallen ill again, which gave me a reason to walk to the village daily. Yet no amount of occupation could entirely quiet my thoughts. It was not despair I felt, not resentment, only a deep and restless tenderness that longed to find form, even if only upon the page. And so, one evening, as the fire burned low and the lamp softened the corner of the room, I took out my writing box. The paper lay before me, blank, inviting, dangerous. Although it was my habit to write within composure, I knew that whatever I set down tonight might reveal more than I could ever intend to send. I dipped my pen in the ink, hesitated, and then began. Dear Edward, forgive the presumption of this address. It is the heart, not the pen, that chooses it. I write not to trouble you, but because silence becomes a weight I can no longer carry alone. The rain has fallen for days, and with it a sense that time moves differently, slower, more deliberate, as if heaven itself waits for something yet not spoken. You ask that I not doubt you. I do not, yet I confess I have become in fear for you. Not that you have changed, but that duty will demand from you what affection would have given freely. I cannot wish for you to act against conscience. I could love no man who did. But I wish, oh forgive me, that life was kinder, that we might both live as our hearts inclined, and not as the world commands. Should we never meet again under the same ease as before, know this, you are remembered in my prayers, not as an idol, but as a soul I hope heaven will guide as tenderly as I had wished I could myself. Charlotte. When I read back the words I wrote, they seemed almost too bare, too earnest. There was nothing improper, yet the truth of feeling stood unveiled, more naked perhaps than even I had spoken. I folded the page, sealed it carefully, and set it aside. I meant to send it in the morning, but the morning brought news, not from him, but from his housekeeper, who came by the lane with a parcel for the vicar. In the course of conversation she mentioned quite without malice that Mr. Everley had gone to London again, for a matter that could not wait. Her words struck like a soft blow. He had gone, and I had not known. The letter lay upon my desk, it sealed, still unbroken. I lifted it, weighed it in my hand, and knew that what I must do. With slow deliberation I drew the small flame of taper towards it. The wax melted, the paper curled, and in a moment the letter was gone, burned. Not into nothingness, but into a memory where I love often dwells. As the last ash faded, I whispered, God's will be done. And though the ache did not lessen, it grew quieter. Less of a wound, more of a vow. For love, when offered without demand, becomes a prayer. There you go, guys. Charlotte's going to send a love letter to Edward, and she changed her mind and burnt it. So let's see what opportunity holds for them too in chapter 12, Winter at Harcourt Hall, Charlotte's home. So I'm feeling sorry for Charlotte. She is going to write a love letter, but she decided to burn it instead when she heard the news that Edward had gone back to London on urgent business. So let's see what happens now, guys. We know that he's got to marry into money. He's got to marry someone, a lady with money, to restore his estate, family home. Poor Charlotte is left rejected. So we'll see what happens. Tomorrow morning we'll go back and we'll see what happens in chapter 12. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for Charlotte. So there you go, guys. But tonight, guys, we're off back to Topsy Tickletown, and we're going to listen to chapter 58, The Day the Library Learned to Talk. So let's go over to Topsy Tickletown tonight, guys, this evening, to see why the library books learn to talk. Until then, guys, have a very lovely day, and thank you for joining me in Poetry Corner. And the dogs are kicking off at the gate, so I'm going to see what they're up to. Hope you all made it through the storm safely. We've got a lot of plant damage here, and the dogs had to stay in last night. But thank God we're all okay. Take care now, guys, and have a very pleasant day, and stay safe as the storm's still around. Take care now, guys, and God bless us all. Bye bye now.